Proud 106 Middays with my girl Justine Skye is in the building. So excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
I haven't been up here in years, so
Really?
yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you, girl. We're so proud of you. So Space and Time is out now. I know you went through this like during COVID, right? So that's when you went through the whole like writing process. Talk to me about like the collaboration with Tim.
Oh man, it was just such a special bond that we created working on this project. It started remotely. I had never met him before in my life, but someone that I always looked up to, someone that I grew up on, you know? And my team, E&E, they worked really closely with him for years. And so it had been a discussion, but I didn't, and I always knew that I would work with him one day, but I just didn't know it would be like this and that he would basically be like family.
Yeah.
So the pandemic hit and I was doing like, you know, just some videos on Instagram singing, just keeping myself busy.
Right.
And obviously like we had to keep distance from everyone. So like one of my friends who was in LA and I was like in Miami at the time, she was like, oh, let's do like a side-by-side video. Like I'll play the guitar, send the video to you, and then you sing this song. It was like a folk song, which I didn't know at all, but I learned it. I was like, sure, why not? And then he DM'd me that video and was like, yo, I want to do one of these videos. And I'm like, you want to do a cover video with me? And I'm freaking out. I send it to them. I'm like, what does this mean? Yeah. And so I hit him back and I'm like, yeah, let's do Say It Right, Nelly Furtado. Like, I'm sure you have the beat somewhere. Like, and you can just like, you know, do your thing. And like, I'll do my thing. And he's like, no, I want to do an original song.
Wow.
And so right now I'm freaking out. I'm like, Timbaland is about to send me a beat. And then I have to write something to it.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, I wasn't so confident in my writing. I was just now like, you know, finding myself and like how I want to, you know, be heard.
Right.
And so I was freaking out. Like I didn't know what to do. I was like, what if he thinks I suck? And this is someone that I look up to so much. Like what if I just have writer's block and I don't know what to do? Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? Just go for it. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, at this point in your life, just do it. And then, and I didn't want to keep him waiting either. So I was like on it. I just started writing. And I sent it to him the next morning. And he was like, yo, this is fire. Like, your pen is fire. And I'm like, I'm looking at them like,
oh, snap.
Like, so what does this mean?
Yeah.
And then he's like, let's put it up. And I'm like, okay. Like, this is crazy. And I just literally just in my headphones, like singing into the mic. And like, he's over there just playing the beat and like jamming out. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, what is happening right now? And who knew that literally a year later, it would be a full album.
Yeah. So the process took about a year for you guys to actually meet, or like how long?
No,
was that?
It really, I would say it took about like 10 weeks because there was 10 sessions that we did. Yeah. Like Space and Time sessions. It became like an Instagram EP is what we called it. Yeah. And every week we just put out a different snippet. He would send a beat. I would write to it. We knew that every, what was it, Wednesday or Tuesday? Either like maybe like Wednesday we would put out like a different snippet. And then so after the 10th one we were like, we have to turn this into like a body of work. We got to do something with this. We can't just let these snippets live like incomplete. Right. So we went out to Miami and I was there for like 2 weeks and we just like finished it.
Dope. And I want to talk more about that, but I also want to touch on something. You said you were really in your head just about your pen, and I know you've been through a lot. You're an independent artist. Just talk to me, just that whole, just all of that, just being an independent artist, being so young, being a Black woman, and your struggles in that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I got signed when I was 17, and I'm 25 now. Wow. I've been at like 2 different labels, and now I'm independent. And so that like process of like the music industry was so different when I got signed. Right. Like streaming wasn't even a thing. And but I've learned a lot through it. I feel like I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and that is kind of like what hindered me from really making the music that I wanted to. That really connected with people, and I think now that I'm independent and that I'm like making these connections with producers and other songwriters and just people that can help bring my vision to life, and their personal connections, not just like people who are doing their job,
Right.
but people who actually like believe in me and like want to see me win and like are invested in what's going on over here. It's just such a different feeling, and it's kind of like funny sometimes because I'm like, damn, like what would it have been like if this is how it felt from the beginning?
Right. And I feel like too, you know, you've handpicked your team, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And what was that process like, you know, trying to figure out who's going to work for Justine's team and like who wasn't, you know?
I mean, for the longest time, everyone was kind of just like presented to me, and I didn't really know the importance of like actually connecting with your team for a really, really long time. And I was just like, oh, well, they know they've done this for this person and they've done that, so like they obviously know what's best for me,
right?
And it's like, I need to know what's best for me. I need to actually like vibe out with the people on my team, because then like there's no real like sense of urgency or passion behind anything. And that's like the most important thing that I've learned in like building my team up again, is like, are they passionate about what's going on over here?
Yeah. And what do you feel is like the biggest struggle that you've had to deal with in your career so far?
I think the biggest struggle would have to be just like really like putting my foot down and voicing my opinion. I feel like,
why is it always difficult for us women to do that? Like, it's so
I don't know,
annoying.
because I mean, obviously this industry is run by men, and not to sound like a super feminist or anything, but I just feel like especially for me being a young girl in this industry, I don't know why, but for some reason I felt like everyone else knew better than I did. And because, you know, you go into like a major label and it's like they've been doing this, and I'm like, I'm just a little girl from Brooklyn, like
trying this out,
make me a star. and as I grew and as I like became more experienced and I learned this industry, and even like seen my peers like develop around me, I realized that I needed to be more involved.
Right.
And I always knew like what I wanted a little bit. I just didn't know how to like vocalize it. Even with my writing, when it comes to my writing, like so much has happened in my life.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be in the studio like, my life is actually crazy. Like, how do I not know what to say?
Right.
And it's just about like finding the right people around you to help you. Like, you can't, sometimes I would sit there and be like, why can't I figure this out? And it's like, you need a team.
Yeah. And I feel like now it seems like you're very comfortable in who you are and your team around you. I know you call this album the Bad Bitch Manual. What does that mean? And why do you say that?
I mean, we like decided it was the Bad Bitch Manual because I feel like that's like the energy that I found while recording this. And just like the energy that I should keep moving forward in my life.
Yeah.
Being a bad bitch isn't just about like, it's not even really about your like physical appearance. It's really just about like the energy that you keep around you and that you like portray into the world.
Yeah.
It's all about the energy.
And I feel like as women, it's very difficult sometimes to just get that like bad bitch energy, because sometimes we don't feel like putting on makeup. We don't feel like getting dressed.
You can be a bad, yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not about your physical appearance. You can be a bad bitch without makeup.
Yeah.
Like, you can be a bad bitch in your sweatpants and your scarf or your bonnet on. Period. Like, it's really just about like how you move.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you have Justin Timberlake on your album, which is insane. And I watched your video that you posted on, I think it was like IGTV, just the process of the whole album. What was that like working with Justin Timberlake?
Man, first of all, I still like can't believe that I know that man. Yeah, like that's
like,
actually
I FaceTime that man.
No, but like, and that's what I meant by like actually making connections with people. Like, if I was at a label, I don't think I would have a full album with Timbaland, or I don't even think I would know Justin Timberlake in the way that I do. Like, you know, like it's these are people who actually like want to see me win, and like took time out of their schedule and their even studio time to like work on my album and like give me advice and and uplift me as an artist as a young artist in this industry. And so it was just really, it was so cool. Like, he helped vocal produce on the song. Even before he was on a song on the album, he was giving like advice. my team again, Emily and Lena, they like worked really closely with him too, and have known him for many years, and so he'd always been like an ear to like give advice on like what we were doing over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we like kind of finished the album, like did all my parts to it, we played it for him. He was like, "Well, the only thing that's missing on this is me." And I'm like, "Wait, you want to be on my album?
Wow.
Like you want to be on my album? That's
Yeah.
crazy."
Yeah. And what are some like advice that he gave you?
Well, he told me that I had a rocket ship tied to my ass and that I was going up.
Wait, I love that. He really did?
Yeah, and he said, "You can tell him I said it." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to tell him."
Wow, and that you are going up. Now, did you believe him when he said that? You're like, obviously, he's the GOAT. I have to believe him.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's been in this industry for literally as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, I grew up listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
And literally Justified, 2020, like, you freaking name it.
Yeah.
Like, I was obsessed with, like, the transitions that him and Tim did. The extensions of the songs, like you started this way and you ended up this way, like it's just so amazing, and I think that that's actual like real music.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say is like your favorite part about the whole process, like working with Tim, working with Justin Timberlake, making your videos, the visuals, like, you know, writing? What was your favorite part about it all?
I mean, there's so many amazing parts, especially they're different too, like each part of it is different. Like when it comes to the visuals, like when they yell, "That's a wrap," like that is like the most amazing part, because you're like, I cannot believe we pulled this off. Like literally independent. I can count on my hands how many people are on my team.
Wow.
And it's more like like it's more like 8 people maybe.
Yeah.
Like on some real like it's that many people.
Right.
Like helping to move these pieces, and it's just like honestly the connection with everyone is the most special part.
Yeah.
From my management, creative team, the people who have helped actually like create the music, to like my publicist, to the person that's helping us with radio, like you know, like it's everyone that's involved is real.
Yeah.
Like their energy towards it is so real and authentic, and I think that when people do pay attention, they can sense that, and that's the most important thing to me.
And we really do believe in you. Like bringing you up here, I was just really excited because I've seen your career for, honestly, I think I've been following you since Tumblr days, to be quite honest with you. So it's just awesome to see you grow and flourish just as like this independent artist who is just doing stuff and putting women on the map, because I feel like when I listen to this album, like I feel very empowered. Like I feel like this is what we need, okay? Like period. This is the type of music that we
need.
That's
exactly what the album is supposed to do.
Yeah. And we're extremely excited just to see like where your career is going to take off to. Like what should you expect for the rest of this year? Like what should we expect to see from you?
More visuals, more music, more shows. And I mean, honestly, I like to view myself as a Renaissance woman, so there's so many things to expect.
And what do you like to do for fun? Because I feel like right now we're seeing work. Like what does Justine like to do like on her days off?
For fun,
she's like, what is that?
No, I like to try like new hobbies.
Yeah.
I don't have any specific thing that I do, but I think I like to view myself as an adventurous person. So like whether it's like trying out a new activity like archery, or like mostly, I don't know why, but I've like binge watching things is a sport to me. Yeah. Like I don't know how how did I get on season 3 in one day?
Would you ever dabble
where did I
into
even
acting,
find
by the
that
way?
time?
You've done some, right?
Yeah, I've done some, but I think that if I or when, because I do love acting. I grew up in the arts. Yeah. So I think that when I do like dip my toe back into acting and TV and film, I want it to be the right way. Right. So I want to like actually like study and practice and just like develop that craft as well too. And I just don't have that time right now because my main focus is the music. Yeah. And I mean, working with the GOAT, Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, like, are there any other artists that you
are putting on your vision board that you want to work with now?
I mean, also we can't forget Rema.
Yeah, and
who's
Rema.
on
I'm
the
so
album as
sorry,
well, too,
Rema.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yes.
no. I mean, he was such an amazing pleasure to work with, and he
And you
came
put
all
that
the way.
together, right? Like
Yeah,
you just DM'd
I
him?
DM'd him and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, like get on the song." I've always been like a fan, and he knows that. We've like communicated on that point, but like the fact that he like came from Nigeria and to shoot this video is just another like moment to be like, man, people are really like they're really in this,
Right.
and it just makes me always feel like I'm doing the right thing as well too, because
Yeah.
there'll be people that try to tear you down left and right, but it's the people that are on your side and that believe in you that lift you up. So
Wait, he did what? He traveled all across
all the
country?
way from Nigeria for the
Wow.
music video.
Wow.
That is insane.
And I feel like, so your relationships with two of the people on this album was all Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I mean, like, social media, it's like the devil,
Yeah.
but it's also very beneficial in some ways if you know how to use it. But it's mostly the devil.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What was your inspiration behind like the visual with the video between you and Rema? With you and Rema?
Well, obviously, like my creative team,
Yeah.
they build this the concept up, and we really just wanted it to feel like a dream within a dream. And just us connecting, and it's otherworldly. I mean, the whole like essence of like how we want the visuals to be portrayed for this album, and
Right.
a couple people get it, but there's like an underlying like Black Mirror kind of aspect to each video.
Yeah.
Which is I'm really excited for people to see the video for In My Bag.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to elevate my visuals, and I wanted people to think too. I feel like some of my favorite music videos are the ones that people have to rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, and then they become obsessed because they're catching something that they didn't see before.
Yeah. Now, when is In My Bag dropping, by the way? Like the visuals behind that, because we're excited. That's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Thank you. No, you can expect it in a couple of weeks.
Okay, I love that answer. In a couple of weeks. All right, we'll hold on to it. Now, Justine, do you feel as though you've been slept on? I feel like you're so talented. And my question, like, I'm sure you get frustrated, like.
Oh, yeah. I definitely feel like I've been slept on.
Because I do. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously, I've been at this for like a while now, and I feel like this album especially has put my name into the conversation more so.
Yeah.
And that's really just my main focus, is just continuing to do what I love, becoming better at it, and for the people that don't believe in me, proving them wrong.
Period. Well, girl, I'm super excited for you. Space and Time out now. Go stream. Justine Skye. I appreciate you, girl.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.